The Somalian pirates thought the Tom Hanks movie was real and have invaded Minnesota. Let's go to the Capitol for more.
Well, Sandra, several of the whistleblowers in Minnesota have told state lawmakers that by the time these investigations are through, they believe the actual size of this fraud could be higher than $8 billion.
Since launching Operation Metro Surge on Monday, DHS has arrested 12 people. ICE has not responded to questions about the operation.
I could see the agents getting off of the plane and unfurling these long shackles on the ground.
An emotion-filled but peaceful protest. But last week, a protest of federal agents turned into a very different scene.
Fox News has obtained photos of one of the Somali illegal immigrants wrapped up in the Minnesota fraud scandal, posing with several high-profile Minnesota Democrats.
Everyone knows that our president is racist, xenophobic, and we are going to fight that. America has a history of fighting and stopping.
They're arguing on race-based identity politics. This is antithetical to the American way. It's antithetical to the Constitution. It is antithetical to all philosophy and Western reason, period.
Won't acknowledge fraud because they want more Americans on the dole. Welfare is central to their political business model. Republicans who make this scandal about immigration are missing the point.
Well, I would say, first of all, that I agree that the problem is that the welfare state has gotten far too big with almost virtually very few real eligibility checks or anti-fraud provisions. But I do think that there is clearly an immigration component to this as well. You know, the famous economist Milton Friedman famously remarked that you can't have both open borders and a welfare state. And for decades, the Democrats have been trying to have both. They've invited as many people as they possibly could from all over the globe into our communities and then opened up the welfare state to provide benefits with almost no anti-fraud provisions whatsoever, and this is the obvious result we need.
So this has become the enemy within. I'm the captain now? Well, how could all this be happening? Well, you don't remember? You're a racist if you don't let Somalis in? You remember right after that movie where I'm the captain and you knew not to do it? Well, guess what? You did. Well, no, you didn't. The government did behind your back and set them all up. And, oh my God, do you remember when they thought it was over $1 million? You haven't been paying attention. They at first came at you, said it was $1 million. Then they said hundreds of millions. Then they said it could be over $1 billion. Oh no. Now they're saying it's $8 billion. But they're not through. I'm going to tell you that the total, I think, just a shot in the dark, is about $18.5, $18.6 billion. I think that's about where they're going to be at with this one. And what they're going to do to try to cover up the fact of, oh my God, is that there are all these entities that the government has made to where they can launder out all this money, and they're going to try to put them in different classes, because they are different classes. Some of them are for feeding children, and some are for disabled people and stuff like that. So they're going to try to separate it whenever it shouldn't be separated, especially if we're looking at what you did with it. This is a good lesson, and it's crazy, but one can imagine. Let's keep going with this idea of the people that mooch need to go.
It's true. A Somali fraud ring in Minnesota stole over $1 billion from Medicaid. How did this happen? Well, Medicaid programs are run by the states, which in Minnesota means the Tim Walz administration. Governor Walz and the state's other Democrats rely on Somali votes to get elected, so they decided to look the other way because they were afraid of, quote-unquote, political backlash.
Uh-oh.
Don't take my word for it. That's what a Somali-American fraud investigator told the New York Times. One program designed to provide housing stabilization assistance to patients ballooned to $104 million.
What?
When 4 years ago, it was projected to cost only $2.6 million.
New Civil, it allows me to just ignore them. I take 2 when I go to Walmart. Some side effects include pandering and not caring about history.
In their brazenness, this truly underscores the extent to which the Democrat Party has used migration as a weapon against the American people to gain political power at the expense of American citizens, stealing their money. It is a tool the Democrat Party has used to rob the American people blind.
Wow.
Total bill, the total tab for this is going to be far beyond the numbers we've already seen reported. We believe the state government is fully complicit in this scheme. And we believe that what we are going to uncover is going to shock the American people. Look, based on the records that we already have, and this is a significant undercount, by the way, 75% of the Somali population in Minnesota is on welfare. But that's likely a significant undercount of just how much of a financial burden the Somali refugee population is imposing on this country.
The Jawas are coming. From Star Wars? Look. ETD.
Ready for more than a holiday? Let Carnageville Cruise Lines take you on a one-way journey to sunny Liberia. Soak in sunshine that feels personal. Build memories that last.
Focus. Breathe. When you're ready, hit straight through it. You got this. Whoa.
Neptune's Lagoon.